Hello everybody, welcome to my videos. I'm Jamie Bond's Games. Welcome to my top 10 football game video. Now I have to admit, I've not done many top 10s on my channel, not many at all, but anyway, this is going to be my personal top 10. It's not going to be one system, it can be multiple systems, but it's not the ones I played the most, it's the ones I enjoyed the most. So anyway, we'll start off with number 10 or less. This is Jamie Bond's Games, top 10 football games of all time. Let's go. Okay, coming in at number 10, it's This Is Football for the PlayStation 1, came out in 1999.
Hello, this is Clive Tilsley, speaking to you live from London. You join us for this friendly match between England and Poland. An expectant and capacity crowd for this game, and the conditions are absolutely ideal. It's a glorious afternoon.
Okay, so the game This Is Football, a sports video game developed by SCE Studios Soho and published by Sonic Music Entertainment exclusively in Europe for the PlayStation. The game carries a license from FIFA Pro, allowing inclusion of 30,000 real-life players, and features English language commentary from Clive Tilsley. But the game is absolutely superb. I love it. It looks great, plays well, and it sounds fantastic. But there's two things I don't like about it. The first one is the goalies. The goalies are just far too good in this game. I swear these goalies have Gorilla Glue on their gloves. 9 times out of 10, when you shoot the ball, wherever you shoot it from, and how powerful the shot is, it always sticks to their hands. And I like games where they parry the ball, allowing you to get a rebound. This game very rarely does that. Another thing I don't like about the game is the computer. Now, if you're going to be playing the computer at this game, you're going to be expecting them to score 9 times out of 10 in exactly the same way. And that does spoil the game for me. You might have the occasional time where they'll score somewhere up close, maybe for a free kick. But yes, also, it is very difficult to score in this game. In fact, I don't know if I've actually ever have scored from outside the box. You have got to get it perfect. Every time I'm shooting the ball, every single time it seems, it's sticking to their gloves and it doesn't parry. So that's its weak point. Apart from that, it's fantastic. I love the commentary, I love the sound effects, I love the animations. But amazingly, it's still goalless. I can't quite believe this.
Owen. Batty. Blocked by the keeper.
I can't remember the last time I scored this game. I just cannot remember. It's been absolutely ages since I last scored.
Gets the cross in. Southgate.
That's a really good shot from Southgate. But still, the goalie held on to it. The game was developed at Sony Computer Entertainment Europe's decidedly studio, Team Soho. Motion capture was carried at the facilities of Aston Villa Football Club using the Oxford Metrics 370E system. Steve Owen gave a mixed review of the game for the official UK PlayStation magazine, criticising the control system and the AI behaviour, while praising the overall presentation of the game and the quality of the animation. Which I agree with. It's absolutely superb. It really is well done. It's just those two things which I think ruin the game. But yeah, that's why I put this one in number 10. But it still makes the number 10 list. But are we going to score?
Tipped over. Kick to...
Come on!
Owen!
I've actually scored! I can't remember the last time I did!
Superbly well.
Mind you, that was top corner. I hit that ball so hard. The trouble is, in this game, you have a bar. Hold the fire button down too long, it will go sky high, go into rosette. But that was perfect. Well, the goalie should have saved that. I thought it was top corner. It wasn't. But quite surprised he didn't hold on to that. He just put his arm in the air. In fact, he wasn't even looking in the right direction. But there we go, I'd take that. Now, when I got this game back in the day, I bought it from Electronics Boutique. And I got it on launch day. What I paid for it, I cannot remember. But yes, I did keep it back 2 or 3 months down the line. Eventually, I did trade it towards something else. What I traded it in for, I don't know. But I have bought it again, of course. Bought it 5 years ago on eBay. Nice addition to the collection. Nice one to go back to. But yeah, there are better ones out there. But it's a fantastic game. This is football. Coming in at number 9, we move over to C32 this time. This is Wembley International Soccer. Came out in 1994. Okay, so the game is Wembley International Soccer, developed by Audiogenic Software, released in 1994 for the Amiga and CD32. Officially licensed by the Old Wembley Stadium, this football game is essentially an advanced version of Ocean's European Champions. Gameplay emphasises the one-touch passing in picture-in-picture window displayed with a long pass, which increases the chances of finding your target player. The AJ version was the first floppy-based game that supports a CD32 controller, making it easier to execute moves. The game features 64 international teams which are included, with the chance of playing a full league, competition or World Cup, and full control over your formation tactics before the match. And that's all to do by doing it. Anyway, this is a fantastic game. In fact, this is actually the first football game I bought with my own money after getting my CD32. The first game I played on the Amiga was actually Kickoff 2, which for some reason it went astray back in the day. I do have it now though. But anyway, it cost me £4.99, bought it from Computer World in Maidstone in Kent. And yes, I was absolutely blown away by this. I really did play this a lot. But yeah, this was going to be in 8th place, but I put it down to 9 because pretty much the same reason really, the goalies. But for a different reason this time. Either they're too good or absolutely ridiculously clumsy. But yes, you're going to try and shoot them out the box. It's very difficult to score. But you can get the parry or two on this one. And there we go. The game is fantastic, played loads back in the day, but the issue is with the goalies again. Now, if you're trying to score from outside the box, the goalies, 9 times out of 10, will hold on to the ball, but the occasional parry does happen, which makes it more interesting. But if you're approaching the 6-yard box, the goalie will have a complete and utter meltdown. You don't know his left from his right. And it is actually possible to walk the ball in, and the goalie will just stand there, not do anything. But yeah, there's a problem with that, but it does make it a little more interesting in the penalty yard box area. Anyway, someone's just been booked. But yes, the other issue is the one-touch passing, which does play well, but basically when you've got the ball in your possession, you'll see an arrow above your head, and it will tell you which player can actually receive the ball, and where they are roughly on the screen. And the character with a circle above their head is the one that receives it. But sometimes a window will appear on the screen, which does obstruct your view. Anything from a throw-in to a free kick, maybe in a corner. And that does obstruct the screen, especially if you're trying to put the ball in a certain area. So that is also an issue, but it does work to a point. It is actually quite easy to score from a corner, which some games I wasn't very good at. But yes, the goalie again had a little bit of a moment there. Right, going well so far, and of course this game has no offside rule, but in a lot of the early games didn't really have them. Certainly on the Amiga, I don't think any of them did. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. But this game also does have the... Woo! See! Get the ball out of there! It's still going. Okay, one-touch passing. When you pass the ball to one of your team, press and hold the fire button before he reaches it, and he'll head up or volley the ball, instead of being under control. Point the joystick in the direction or keep the joystick central and let the computer choose. When you select the one touch, a number will appear above the ball. This is the number of the player who's going to volley the ball. If you select it by mistake, press the fire button again to cancel. But there we go, it's fantastic, it really is a good game. I don't know what the score is at the moment in time, but it's going alright so far. But yes, played it loads, really did. Now also this game does have a top view as well as a sideways view, which is a nice touch to the game. But yeah, a little bit like Kickoff. But yes, on the CD32, I believe it is the blue button. If you're playing it on the floppy disk version, you have to press the V button on your keyboard. But anyway, I do prefer the sideways view. I played that loads, the most, back in the day. But it's a nice addition. And of course, you do have the replay system, which can either be done in top view or sideways view. Throw into England. Amiga Format gave it 79%, Amiga Joker gave it 81%, Amiga Power gave it 85%, CU Amiga gave it 78%, and One Amiga 59%. Overall average rating 76%. But it's fantastic, it really is good. It's great to go back to, great fun playing it, and just score again in bird's eye view. So the view for the replay will be sideways view. But yeah, I didn't know a lot about that. A bit scrappy, but this game can be like that at times, which makes it more interesting. But there we go, Wembley International Soccer. Coming in at number 8, we're back to the PlayStation 1 again. This is Michael Owen's World League Soccer 99, released in 1998.
Good afternoon and a big welcome to you all. With two sides playing a friendly like this, it should be a great game. England are facing Scotland. Let's join the action, and it's over to Peter Brackton.
Yes, thanks Ray, it should be quite an afternoon here.
Okay, so the game is Michael Owen's World League Soccer 99. Michael Owen was England's youngest ever goal scorer and biggest hero, to be superseded on both counts by Wayne Rooney. He put his name in the game, balanced between action and the arcade game and the realism of simulation. The game incorporates leading international teams along with 200 domestic teams from Europe, Japan and USFA. Each player's abilities are rated out of 10 in several key areas, including shots, fouls and possession, which are recorded.
Good save by the goalkeeper.
Set pieces are controlled by moving the line of a direct ball. While trying to play the pass, the player can switch to the footballer, hoping to receive the ball. And that was very difficult to read while doing it, but this game is absolutely superb. I bought it from Electronics Boutique during my year in Canterbury College, which I had to save up my money after playing a demo to absolute death to got on the magazine. But it is absolutely superb. I think I paid about £20, something like that, but yes, it really is good.
Overcomes the corner. The goalkeeper's
off the crossbar. In fact, that was a deflection, or the goalie got a hand to it.
Right. Can you score from here?
Penalty. Can't remember the last time I took a penalty in this game. That was a good save, my lords. It still remains goalless. Okay, free kick. So we've got to use the arrow. So use the R1, L1 buttons to try and get some power and some height. And go for broke. Superb! There we go. The player can choose from competition structures including leagues and cup championships, practice mode and single friendly matches, with a World Cup perhaps as the ultimate prize. It is also possible for the player to design their own competitions. And that is a goal for Paul Scholes. This game is quite difficult, I have to admit. It's difficult to get the ball on target, but of course on this one, oh my god.
That's a super volley.
What a save! Now when it comes to shooting in this game, basically once you do a low driven shot, you have to press the circle button. You want to add more power to your shot, or maybe even more height, which is also good for crossing. What you have to do is basically
it's a corner.
Hold the direction away from where you want to shoot. So basically you've got to shoot the opposite directions. You want more height, you want to fire forward, you basically have to hold back. But yes, that is difficult when it comes to crossing. That's where I had a lot of problems. Also the volleying is quite difficult to do as well. You've got to get the timing absolutely perfect. If you don't do it right, basically just be kicking in the air like that.
That's an accurate pass.
So hold back to get more height. And hit the bar, my lord.
They've survived.
Fantastic.
Flicked on by Jackson. Once again, it's a header.
Over 200 teams to choose from. Leagues include English, Scottish, Italian, German, French, Spanish, Dutch, and many, many more. Arcade-style graphics, improved artificial intelligence for both goalkeepers and outfield players. Motion captured animation based on Michael Owen and real-time commentary by Peter Brackley and Ray Wilkins, which is also very well done. It really is good.
And the pass is long and true. Down the right, here's the cross in from Owen.
Oh, nearly. I thought that was in. But yes, the crossing is what I tend to struggle with the most. That and volleying.
An excellent forward pass to Shearer.
Shearer has scored! 3-0 to England. The curl on that. Fantastic.
And this has really split open the defence now. Now can he get away from his marker? You run out of superlatives.
Goalie!
It's off the
post!
McNamara!
My lord! How are Scotland not scoring? I just don't understand.
Owen, in with a
off the post! Back in play! Can I cross it? No, I can't.
Some distance on that clearance. That's a fine link up between the two. McNamara. Dangerous ball played in. In comes the
oh my lord! I have to admit, Scotland are unlucky today.
He's taken the ball there with great aplomb.
That was again extremely close.
And the referee will have to book him for that. Jackson. And back off the post.
I don't believe this.
Goal.
They've scored. Highly deserved, I think. There we go.
Ferdinand lays it off. It's gone in. Enough to make it 3-1.
Yes.
I think we need to see that one again on the replay.
Superb. Look at
a left-footed shot towards.
My lord, look at this. A Scotland comeback.
Continues. It's 3-2.
I have to admit, I've been playing this game for 2 hours, so I've got a lot of footage to get through. But at the moment of time, 3-2. Oh my lord.
Donnelly. Well, you can't praise this goalkeeper highly enough.
No! I don't believe it!
It's there at the second attempt.
The goalie made a huge mistake. Huge. So there we go. I've been playing this game for 2 hours and 5 minutes. It ended 3-3, which I think was the right result. But anyway, it's a fantastic game. Developed by Silicon Dreams and published by Idis Interactive and released in Europe in 1998. It's a fantastic game. Here's an 8 on the list. On we go to number 7. That is Michael Owen's World of Soccer 99. Right, I'm about to mute this amazing intro, but of course Blur is going to be copyrighted. So, we can't allow it here. Okay, coming at number 7 is FIFA 98 Road to World Cup. Copyright 1997, Electronic Arts, all rights reserved.
Hello again. It's all about football here, and we're here to bring you a fascinating encounter between England and Belgium. London the setting for today's game, and I hope you're looking forward to this as much as we are. As the game is about to get underway then, let's join our commentators Andy Gray and John Motson.
Okay, so the game is FIFA 98, a football simulation video game developed by EA Canada and released by Electronic Arts in 1997. It's the 5th game in the FIFA series and the second to be 3D on the 5th generation of video game consoles. A number of different players are featured on the front cover, including David Beckham of the UK, Roy Leicester of the United States, Mexico and Brazil, David Ginola in France, and Raul in Japan and Portugal, and Pablo Maldini in Italy, and Andres Mola in Germany. FIFA 98 was the last FIFA game released for the Sega Mega Drive Genesis, the Sega Saturn and the SNES.
Let's take a look at the instant.
There you go, I managed to score, did a lot about it though. Who scored it? I don't know, I have no idea.
1-0 now the score.
Now this game is superb, and even though it actually does appear higher up on my list, I do prefer Michael Owen's World League Soccer 99 over this one. But the reason why this was higher is got more memories playing this one with my friends back in the day. My friend Daniel, his brother James, played loads of them, and also a friend who used to work with Wayne. He was a big Aston Villa fan, played the game loads with him as well. And we used to do quite a lot of leagues, and what we did with my friend Wayne is he was Aston Villa and I was Newcastle, and we did a double league. And what I mean by that is you play as your specified team, and the other player plays all the other teams that you're playing against. So basically 38 games a season, 76 games in total. It took us absolutely ages, but we did it. I can't remember who won though. But anyway, an equaliser for Belgium by diving header, which is a lot more easy to do in this game than the last one. The game includes an official soundtrack, team and player customization options, 16 stadiums, improved artificial intelligence, and the Road to World Cup mode, with all 172 FIFA-registered national teams took part in the qualification for the FIFA 1998 FIFA World Cup, including Brazil and France, who qualified for the tournament automatically as holders and hosts, respectively. No subsequent edition of the FIFA series attempted to replicate the FIFA 98's inclusion of every FIFA national team until 2010's FIFA World Cup South Africa, which included all 199 FIFA nations that took part in qualifying. There we go, fantastic. What is that now? 2-1. There we go, just approaching the half-time whistle. But there we go, it certainly is a lot easier to score in this one, but it's not so easy to score outside the box. But it's so good. Hit the crossbar. Brilliant, it really is good. For the first time in a FIFA game, the offside rule was properly implemented. In previous games, when a player was in an offside position during anything except running, the player was penalised for offside even though the ball was passed backwards. The Windows, PlayStation, Nintendo 64 and Saturn versions of FIFA 98 correct this, so that the game only awards a free kick for offside if the ball is passed further where the player was in an offside position. Right, open space. Fantastic. Sheridan, 64 minutes. And also, a nice addition to this game was also the indoor arena.
Hello again. It's all about football here, and we're here to bring you a fascinating encounter between England and
Another
Belgium.
nice addition to the game also was the five-a-side, which takes place indoors. So basically, if you try and hit the ball high, it'll bounce off the walls and go back into play. But yes, a really nice touch, got played loads back in the day. But as a result of that, yes, you can be scoring quite a lot of goals and conceding a lot of goals as well. So yes, of course, you do have the referee here in place, but of course the offside law I don't think works here. I don't think so. And also, this gives you opportunities to practice quite a lot of your volleys. There will be plenty of opportunities where you can actually do it. Look at that! I didn't actually mean to do that! McManaman, 3 minutes. Showboating, my lord. Now in this game, it was actually...
Oh, well, I think you must need the exercise. The keeper making a simple stop looked terribly difficult.
Blimey, how did that stay out?
Great save from the keeper under pressure.
He arrived too late for the tackle.
Now in this game, it was actually possible to score with the goalie, and yes, we did it loads back in the day. Of course, your goalie isn't quite as fast as other players, but even in the main match, it was actually doable. But yes, of course, if you make a mistake, you'll be paying the price. But it's certainly doable. There you go.
What were they thinking of?
Not too shabby. David Seaman scores the opening goal of the game.
Well, they made it too easy for him. That's schoolboy stuff.
The theme music for the game was Blur's Song 2. 4 songs by Crystal Method were included. More, Now This Is the Time, Keep Hope Alive and Busy Child, as well as a song by Electric Sky Church entitled Huggy Bear. Des Lynam retained the game's introduction, and John Motson and Andy Gray remained as match commentators. The game was built on FIFA 97's engine, and David Ginola was the game's motion capture player. But there we go, outside the box, that is a free kick. Right, mate, this is the final piece of footage of this game, and we're on to the next. We should score from here. It should be a tap-in. Just don't press the wrong button. What is the right button? Circle, I believe. There we go. Fantastic. What a game. Fantastic. Number 7. On we goes number 6 as FIFA 98 we roll to World Cup.
Let's take another look at that.
Okay, for number 6 on the list, we move over to the Mega Drive this time. This is FIFA Soccer 95, copyright 994 Electronic Arts. Okay, so the game is FIFA Soccer 1995, a 1994 football simulation video game developed and published by Electronic Arts. The game was released for Sega Mega Drive Genesis in November 1994. It's a sequel to FIFA International Soccer and the second game in the FIFA series. It's the only FIFA title not to be released on PC. Now, even though I didn't own this back in the day, I didn't have a Mega Drive back in the day, but a few of my friends did. I used to play this quite a lot with my friends back in the day after school. My friend Daniel owned it, and we played it loads. But I haven't played it for about 20, 25 years, something like that. I've forgotten how difficult this game is. It's a good game, though. Good memory of playing it. But yes, I'm not really good at scoring this game, even though I just did. It went through his legs. Also, you press the A, B or C button on your controller and do your own little celebration. Anything from fireworks, the word goal, and the crowd cheering. And I have to admit, I cannot believe I scored there. But the game is good. It just takes some getting used to. Goalies. No! Good catch. FIFA Soccer 95 is a video game that simulates football. The game utilises an isometric viewpoint. The player controls one of 11 footballers of their team with the ability to switch to another player. The game allows up to 4 players to play at the same time, each controlling a different footballer. The players can choose to control a footballer on the same team or the opposing team. The remaining footballers are controlled by the computer. But anyway, it's definitely taking some getting used to, but it's great to go back to. But yes, I have actually got a box version of this on the Mega Drive. But unfortunately, it got crushed in transit. But I did manage to buy myself from a boot fair on the Amiga FIFA International Soccer, which is the closest thing I've got to the real deal. But the frame rate is a bit of an issue on that one. But the music is good. And the game is good as well, but not as good as this, I have to admit. But yes, great memories playing this back in the day. Right, throw in to England. Right, throw to him, if you can throw that far. So, I'm assuming, now, unfortunately I don't have a manual for this game, but I'm assuming it's A to pass, B to cross, and C to shoot. No sprint, I don't think. There we go! Another one. Ooh, good save. Good save. Just going for it. Keep going. Right, I know what sprint is, I think. I don't know, actually. I thought I do. Might be a slight touch there. Club sides are included for the first time in the series, with clubs from 6 leagues across Europe, including England, France, Germany, Italy and the Netherlands. Professional Soccer League in the US is also included. The licence did not cover the player names, so fictional names were used instead. Other new features compared to the previous game include implementation of the penalty shootout to resolve games that finish a draw after extra time. FIFA International Soccer had instead used the next goal wins at the end of extra time. Right, so far so good. We're not too far away from winning this game, even though I don't really know a lot about it. But I think I'm getting better. But most of my shots seem to be at long range. I'm trying to get to the penalty box. But of course, this game you can score from outside the box. Okay, so look at the stats. England 2, Portugal 0. Saves 5-3. Shots 6 apiece. 1 corner. But yes, no fouls in that game whatsoever. There is actually a referee in the game, but not as strict as other games. But there we go, not too shabby. Foul summary, press B. Probably isn't going to be any. None whatsoever. That's quite rare. So of course in this game, it wasn't allowed to use the real names, didn't have the license to do so. But anyway, 2-0, 1 goal from B. McMillan and 1 from M. Webster. 2-0. Great game, fantastic game, great to go back to. On we go to the next one, that's FIFA 95. Okay, return to the PlayStation 1 once again for number 5 on the list. This is UEFA Champions League, season 1999-2000, published by Eidos Interactive, developed by Silicon Dreams.
We have a friendly match for you today. The excesses of individual players, usually curbed by the managers in vital league matches, will be actively encouraged, and hopefully that will mean chances and goals. Chelsea take on Bayern Munich in this match. It's just about to kick off, so let's go over to our commentators, Kevin Keegan and Clive Chilsley. First, Clive.
Thanks, Bob, and welcome everybody. The condition of the pitch, as you can see, is maybe what you'd expect at this time of the year. A lot of football has been played here, but it has held up pretty well.
Okay, so the game, this is UEFA Champions League season 99-2000, a soccer sim featuring the 99-2000 season team lineups in the prestigious European club competitions. There are 32 clubs included, game options, which includes a full season, exhibition matches, scenario and multiplayer
Diving
options.
in to win the ball with a slide tackle.
This game is superb. Bear in mind, I didn't actually support any of the teams in this competition. The game is absolutely superb. It really is well made. It looks great, plays well, sounds fantastic, and the crowd is certainly a lot better in this game than it is on some of the ones I've also featured. FIFA 98 wasn't really a crowd there, but it did sound good. But this one, it's good all round. The goalies are good, the players are good, the shooting's good, the volume's good, the crossing is good, and that was a good goal. There you go, superb. Who scored it? I don't know. And also, the replays are good. I was disappointed with the replays in FIFA 98. This one, it does it multiple times. You see it at different angles. There we go. Going around in circles. Bianca! She was in the EastEnders.
Effectively cleared.
Vicky! Here we go again. Off the crossbar! Fantastic once again.
Terry.
Back in play, I love all that. You can score from outside the box on this one, and still he parried it. That makes it so much better, rather than just holding on to the ball every single time. And we're back again, off the bar again. This game is superb, it's so good. Played it loads back in the day.
Never allowed very much time on the ball.
Look at that.
Strikes with the left.
What a save. Don't know who the goalie is though. Corner to Chelsea. And quite a lot of these games did feature the arrow. So you press up or down to get more height or more power. Go for it. And the volleying is done in the same way as Michael Owen's World also got 99. To get more height and power, you have to hold back. In scenario mode, you can replay any of the finals in the competition's history from 1970 onwards. Another notable inclusion is the custom tournament mode that allows you to find your own tournament perimeters and fixtures.
Defensive wall being formed.
And you can also move the wall.
Really tight.
Bring on the wall.
The keeper's lost it.
There's a save by Ed DeHooey. And also the sprint is also very good in this game. It really is good. Some games you've got to tap the button, some games you can hold the button. This one you can hold the button, so it definitely makes it a little less painful for you. Head it on. The one thing I love about this game also is anything can happen in a game like this. There's certain games it's difficult to score from outside the box. Some games people will always do the same thing. Some games difficult to cross. Some games difficult to volley. But this game, you can score anywhere. You can score outside the box. You can score inside the box. You can score from a volley. You can even score from the halfway line. But yes, the goalies do occasionally make mistakes.
Fantastic football at the back though as well. Kevin, do you like what you've seen so far?
Love it.
The UEFA Champions League is undoubtedly the biggest and best club football tournament in the world. Take control of the best teams in Europe and guide them to the trophy of every footballer's dream. Commentary from ITV's Bob Wilson, Clive Tilsley and former Newcastle and England coach and manager Kevin Keegan. Up to 8 players supported on PlayStation. Imagine that, 8 players taking part in 2 teams. Sounds crazy, but never experienced that, only 2 players. That was extremely offside. You don't need a linesman to solve that one. With second team Pseudo, who also developed the World League Soccer Series, Champions League had 4 titles, 98-99, 99-2000, 2000-2001, 2001-2002, mostly aimed at the PlayStation, but PC releases existed for the games. It replaced the national teams with finalists of all competitions since 1960. The first 2 games were published by Eidos Interactive, while the last 2 were published by Take-Two Interactive. Now, I do actually have one here. I do have the one that followed this one, which is good, but not as good as this one, my personal opinion. But anyway, 5-4. I was not expecting it to be this close. Off the bar. And out of play. Throw into Bayern Munich. 87 minutes. Sort of. Not technically, is it?
Let's see
If
what
it was, it'd be like 22-24.
Yaramis.
Get out of there. Anywhere will do. Anywhere. Preferably in the back of the net of the other opponent's goal.
Surrounded by defenders.
Off the bar and in. Ah, some of that. 6-4.
Well, the victory made even the more sweeter with that.
So there we go. 6-4 was the score. Cannot argue with that one. Fantastic. But there we go. Move on to number 4. But that's a fantastic game. That is Champions League 98-99 on the PlayStation. Okay, for the next part of the video, we move over to the PlayStation 2. Next on the list is Red Card. You apologise about the green screen there, but it's fantastic. Developed by Point of View, published by Midway Games.
The crowd are ready as the players take the pitch, and we're just seconds away from the start of this promising exhibition match between England and the USA. Beside me on the gantry today, my fellow commentator Chris Kamara. Anything you'd like to add, Chris?
I think we're in for a real treat today, Simon. Both teams are evenly matched and hungry for a win. A good recipe for football.
Okay, so the game, this is Red Card, a video game based on association football released in 2002 by Point of View. The game follows most of the rules of football, but allows for heavier tackles and special attacks once the player has filled up their special meter.
In the penalty area.
The game released for Nintendo GameCube, Xbox and PlayStation 2, allowing the players to compete across all the continents including Antarctica in the World Conquest mode, which in turn unlocks the Finals mode. On each continent, the player begins against an easy team and faces increasingly more difficult opponents. There we go. He was taken out in the process, but a goal is a goal. I mean, yes, it's not quite the most realistic of football games, but I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. A goal for Teddy Sheringham, I believe.
Just outside the area. Punched away.
What a save. That's amazing.
Possession.
In this game, I put in the same category as Speedball 2 Brutal Deluxe. It's technically football, but the rule book has been thrown out the window here. I mean, you can't just go out to someone on the field and punch them in the face in a normal game of football, but here you can, and you can be getting away with that. But yes, you have this power bar, and depending on how high the power bar is, depending on what you can do, whether it be a spectacular shot or a spectacular move. In fact, he scored, but he's laying on the deck. But there goes Scholes, score a goal, even though he didn't know a lot about it. But yes, you can even take out the referee in this game. It's hilarious. There we go. No free kick there, it carries on. And then he was taken out in the process. But it's a good goal though. There you go.
Tries an optimistic shot. It smacks the bar and it's still in play. Brave charge by the goalkeeper off his line stops the attack. No foul call.
Now when I first played this game, I rented it out from Blockbusters. And of course, renting it from Blockbusters you get it for 2 nights. Now, I knew nothing about the game. I haven't read any reviews on the game. It was the title of the game that drew me to it. Any game with a title like Red Card is of some interest to someone that likes Spiel 2 Brutal Deluxe.
Fires from long
when
range.
I finally got myself a full version, I played through it very quickly. I was so addicted to it. And yes, I have done the World Conquest mode.
At the edge of
anyway,
the box.
It's going well. 4-2 at the moment of time, but yeah, you're going to get a lot of high-scoring games in this game.
United States are really taking over here.
Some of that. Just a slight collision. Only a slight one.
Area. Only the keeper to beat. A well-timed.
They don't get deaths in this game. You get seriously badly injured. They'll be down for quite some time, including the referee. That guy there was still struggling. But yeah, you can actually technically take out the referee. And he'll be limping around as well, just like the players do.
Now, can he get the cross in?
Do what you can do to get the ball off of them.
Vital challenge. Strong
Get
challenge.
the referee out. It's fine. You can do that in a game like this. It's fine. You can do that in a game like this.
And he fails to connect. Tries one from way. Well-timed lead. Just outside the box.
I'm happy with that. Teddy Sheridan, 2 goals, 37 minutes.
Absolutely brilliant goal.
There is some skill to the game. There is.
And the score now, 5-3.
Now, provided that your special bar is full up and you don't keep using the sprint button, you can activate your special power.
Well-placed pass.
Like that. But only when the bar is full. You don't technically score every single time, but it just looks spectacular.
They're really starting to move.
But yeah, that took up pretty much all of that bar. But yes, you're going to do it at close range or from a volley. It's looking like you should score there.
Slight collision. Oh, that looked painful.
Right in the chin.
English take control of the ball. With the cross. Tries a volley.
Oh, look at that. Overhead kick.
England racing through the centre.
Take it out in the process.
In the 18-yard box. Stopped in his tracks. England with a vital challenge.
Well, the score is 7-7. Let's try and change
England
that.
Quickly moving the ball up through the middle.
We just did just that with Owen. Fantastic.
England move ahead.
8-7.
What a sweet shot there.
The score now, 8-7.
8-7.
No one left.
Oh my lord, this could be 8-8.
Blasts it. Goal!
8-8.
Crowd goes wild.
My lord.
The equaliser goes in with just minutes left in the match.
That was poor planning by the defence on that one.
Referee says play on.
How did he get away with that?
How does this get to 8-8? How does it get to this
By
point?
the area, but the keeper's there to make the save.
So there we go, it ended 8-8. We've got 16 goals, we have 132 tackles, 33 injuries, 81 shots and 42 saves. But amazingly, 1 foul, 1 yellow card. It's a fantastic game. On goes number 3, that is red card.
Pro Evolution Soccer 4.
There you go, took the words right out of my mouth there. Coming at number 3 on the PlayStation 2 is Pro Evolution Soccer 4. There we go, fantastic. Copyright 2004, Konami Computer Entertainment Tokyo.
A warm welcome to football fans wherever you are. My name is Peter Brackley. It's an exhibition match, England versus Sweden. A great pleasure to welcome Trevor Brooking, who will provide expert analysis on the game.
Thank you, Peter, and hello everyone. It's great to be here.
Players are now coming onto the field. There's a huge crowd to greet the 2 sets of players. Are having their pictures taken. The screen shows the expected formation.
Okay, so the game is Pro Evolution Soccer 4, the 4th instalment of Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer football series of video games. It's the first game of the series to appear on the original Xbox with online gameplay. It was the first game in the series to feature licensed leagues. So anyway, we've gone from one extreme to the next. But anyway, we've gone from red card to this. Now this also got played to absolute death. And I have got in my collection also Pro Evolution Soccer 3, which I've had for absolute ages, played loads. But once this one arrived on the scene, this one took full control. but I have still got Pro Evolution Soccer 3 in my collection. But yeah, it's really good. And of course, I've many leagues in the past. It's still a good game to play even to this day. But of course, a lot more realistic this one. And we've got a little bit of rain on this one, just to spice up a little bit. But yeah, it's been a while since I last played it.
Rolls it forward.
Now, like the third game, the commentary remains the same. It's Peter Brackley and Trevor Brooking, which of course is very well done. Now this game, not only do you get the replays of goals, you also get the replays of near misses.
Just to the right of the post.
Like that. Close call by Michael Owen. And when you get to the half-time whistle and the full-time whistle, you see the highlights of the game. If there wasn't any goals, you'll see the best moments. So yes, a really cool thing. Now on this one, we have the bar system once again, but yes, if you hold the fire button too long, it's going into space. So you've got to be very delicate with not only the crossing, but also the shooting. And the volleying as well. It's going to be a bit of an issue. And of course, timing is key. But it's just really well done. It really is superb. I didn't play any others other than the third and the fourth. So of course in this game, the referee is going to be a lot more strict than the last game. And of course, players do get worn out. And what is difficult for this video as well is I'm trying to adapt to the different controls. Every single game I'm playing, the controls are different. So crossing and passing and shooting has been a bit of an issue. That was incredibly close actually. That was actually a pass, not a shot. I pressed the wrong button. Injuries can happen, but they're probably not going to shove it away like they did in the last game. And also, advantage played is also a good thing in this game. But it's a free kick. And it's sky high. When you're doing the game of rugby, not here. Freddie Lundberg. And also the crowd looks spectacular. It really is good.
Owen.
Right.
Rolls it upfield.
Let's try and get the opening goal. Just tap the button. Otherwise you're going to go sky high. But I didn't hold that button down long enough.
Long ball forward.
Oh my lord.
And he's having a go.
Good save.
That was magnificent goalkeeping.
The game was also known as World Soccer Winning 11-8 in Japan and World Soccer Winning 11-8 International in North America. Winning 11-8 Liveware Evolution marked the first game in the Pro Evolution Soccer series to feature online play for the PlayStation 2. With online play, statistics and league points are stored on the server for each game played. While Pro Evolution Soccer 8 Pro Evolution Soccer 4 does not feature it, Pro Evolution Soccer 4 was succeeded in Pro Evolution Soccer 5 and it was released in 2005, which I have not played. This was the final one I played, the final one I bought. Right, we need some goals. We need some action. But yeah, this is such a difficult game to play. We haven't played it for so long.
Goals.
Right.
Owen.
Advantage plays.
Rooney.
Back heel.
And he fires it.
No, too high. You've got to get it absolutely perfect. And even though I didn't press that button for very long, it was too much. Over the bar it goes. The goalie just stood there. Right, we need a good through pass. But of course, we've got to stay on side.
Rolls it upfield.
That was extremely difficult. Was that Wayne Rooney?
Absolutely magnificent.
My lord, that was tough. Age 18 at the time. I don't know how old he is now.
Sloppy defending, especially at this level. To leave a player for his calibre unmarked is asking for trouble.
Pass by Scholes to Rooney. Yeah. Now when it comes to replays, you can change the view, you can fast forward it, rewind it. I have to admit, I like the bird's eye view. That is fantastic. That's really good. I like that one a lot. It's good.
Can he find his man?
Oh no!
And surely he must score. Oh! And he has a go.
Clear the ball! Clear the ball! Oh, blimey. I thought Swedish House thought his team was going to score there, and I thought he was going to score too.
Owen.
And it can change so quickly. It could. It hasn't.
Oh,
End-to-end stuff. In Japan, the PlayStation 2 version sold 1 million copies in its first day release, eventually selling 1.11 million units in Europe. The PlayStation 2 version shipped 1.5 million units in its first day release, settling a launch sales record. It was a hit in Italy, where more than 400,000 units were sold. By November 2004, the PlayStation 2 version of Pro Evolution 4 received a double platinum award from the Entertainment Leisure Software Publishers Association, indicating sales of 600,000 copies in the United Kingdom. Right, in the box. No.
They just can't penetrate this solid defence.
Just can't get through this tough Swedish defence. Yay! In the box. In the box.
Great cross.
It's in! Woohoo! There you go.
From the end.
Michael Owen.
Their lead.
I have to admit, they do look like them.
Into the left
Yeah,
hand
they really do.
They're 2 up, and another goal would kill the game, surely.
Okay, cued highlights. But yeah, it's difficult when you haven't played it for so long, especially when you're going for a game like Red Card to this. It takes some getting used to, it takes some adapting to. But it's fantastic, it really is good. But anyway, that's number 3, and we're at number 2. That's Pro Evolution Soccer 4 on the PlayStation 2. Coming at number 2, we return to the PlayStation 1. This is UEFA Striker, developed by Rage Software, published by Infogrames, released in 1999.
Good afternoon and welcome to the match. Joining me here today in the commentary box, Ron Atkinson.
Hi, cheers, Jonathan.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot, Ron. What do you think the score will be?
I honestly believe this could be a very close one, judging by the form of both sides.
Any thoughts on the pitch the teams will be playing on, Ron?
It's a dry pitch, so we can expect the ball to bounce high and maybe a little bit unpredictably.
So, Ron, what do you make of the weather?
To be perfectly honest, it looks a fine day for football.
Well, I can see the players are ready for the kickoff, so let's get on with the game.
Okay, so the game is UEFA Striker, known in North America as Striker Pro 2000. It's a sports video game developed by Rage Software and published by Infogrames in 1999-2000. It's the final game of the Striker series. In fact, it's the only game I played of the Striker series. Now, it's fantastic. I really, really do like it, and I think it still looks pretty good to this day until you zoom up close to the characters, or players, should we say. It probably hasn't aged all that well, but sometimes it's not about how it looks, it's just how it plays. And it plays so well. It's fast-paced, you can shoot from anywhere, you can score from anywhere, the volleys are good, the goalies are good, the commentary is good. It is just really, really, really good, and I played it so much. And already it's fast-paced action, which is what I like. Straight back in, and it's fantastic. But it seems to be more Liverpool than it is Chelsea. Every time I get in the ball, I'm not really doing an awful lot with it.
Very alert keeping. Unlucky.
Very unlucky. He's on form. I'll give him that.
That's a goal kick.
There you go. Now in this game, they did have a few issues with some of the names. Not the player names, but the grounds and some of the team names. I've wrote a few of them down. Now in this game, Aston Villa was called Aston. PSV Eindhoven was called Eindhoven, Celtic was called the Glasgow Greens, Rangers was the Glasgow Blues, Arsenal was Highbury, and Paris Saint-Germain was just called Paris. But there was an issue with that, and also the grounds. I'm actually playing this one on Birmingham Park. Now, I don't know what Birmingham's ground is called, but I'm pretty sure it's probably not called Birmingham Park. So there was quite a lot of issues with that. But taking nothing away from the game, it is very, very well done. But yes, amazingly, Chelsea-Liverpool was no issues at all. Manchester United is just called Manchester. But there we go. Simple for the goalie. The commentators in this one is Ron Atkinson and Jonathan Pearce, which again is very, very well done. It really is superb. Now the sprint button is one of those ones where you have to hold the fire button down, so that is superb. Off the post. Goal for Chelsea. Cue the celebrations. And we have the instant replay, and I love the fact that there's actually a line behind the ball. I love that. And it tells you the speed of the ball and how far it was kicked from. But there we go. Julian Widows, a producer at Rage Software, told Dreamcast Monthly magazine that the team's intention was to create something that felt like real football and to allow players to be able to draw defenders the same way they do in real life, to make space and make moves. The title was initially developed under the title Ruud Gullit Striker, with Ruud Gullit involved on the consultancy basis and providing commentary, but it shifted when the UEFA license was required. Now thinking about it, I think there is actually another PlayStation 1 game, it might even be this, I'm not sure, that Ruud Gullit does actually do commentary, but only when the Netherlands are playing. But only on the intro, not throughout the game. That was a long throw. Good save. Corner. And also in this game, yes, there wasn't many teams, not many at all, but you can create your own teams, which I did loads back in the day. You can actually create 8 in total, which of course I did, and of course they had the right names and the right players. What What a goal! Dan Petrescu. Proud of that one. But yes, you can create 8 teams, custom teams, which you did back in the day. And of course, you had your own names, create your own names, but of course the commentary would not read those out. And like the last game, you also have the opportunity to switch camera angles. And I do like this bird's eye view, but the trail of the ball behind it is a really, really nice touch. I love that. There you go, 58 miles per hour, distance of 26 yards. The game allows players to choose from 51 European national teams, 44 domestic clubs and 20 bonus teams with individual players modelled with 16 different attributes. Players also have the ability to create their own teams and kits, edit existing players and edit the names of existing cups and leagues. Gameplay modes include training, friendly matches, knockout cups, classic matches, leagues and tournaments. The UEFA license enabled the inclusion of official Euro 2000 qualifying matches and the final tournament as the game mode. Other major cups and leagues are currently disguised with names such as the Euro Super Trophy standing in for the Champions League. Commentary was provided by Ron Atkinson and Jonathan Pearce with Ruth Williams providing analysis before international fixtures. So it is confirmed, he is in this game. There we go, a great goal by Flo. Didn't know a lot about it though.
Looks like the players have had their half-time oranges and of course that important tactical talk. And they're ready to start once again.
Now the first time I saw this game was not a demo actually. I saw it on a screen in Electronics Boutique or Game, one of the two. Now I'm not sure if they still do it, probably not. There's not actually that many of them around anymore. We used to get a screen that was advertising games that have either just come out or games that are available for pre-order, so you get a bit of a glimpse. I was in there just having a browse and saw this game on the screen and it automatically grabbed my attention, and back then I was still a big football fan, and if it was out, it probably was, I bought it immediately. Probably about £25, something like that, I reckon. But yes, I was very pleased to see that because this game really did blow me away. It was fantastic. It still is. It's still a very enjoyable game. It's very fast paced. I love it. It sounds great. It really is good.
Fine save.
And the goalies do hold on to the ball. You might think they don't. They do occasionally, but they parry it most of the time, which again just makes it so much more better, so much more exciting. Well, I have to admit, it's been a bit of a scrappy second half. It's currently 4-2. But I'm hanging in there. I haven't had that many chances, but the goalie is keeping me in this game. Not once, not twice. There we go, 3 times. Can we get them on the break? Probably not. Maybe. There's no one in the box. There's nobody there.
A well-timed interception.
There you go, man of the match, Zola.
Well,
goals 1, shots 7, shots on target 7, longest goal 18
Any thoughts
yards.
on the final score?
So the game actually ended 4-2. But anyway, another thing I did to this game was spot the ball. Now, it's difficult because you've got to try and guess where you think the ball is going to be. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's there. Now, if you get it correct, you actually earn one of the digits for the mystery code, which is that. But there we go. I've never done all of them, never got the complete and utter total code, but it's a nice touch of the game. But anyway, fantastic. We're moving on to one on the list. That is UEFA Striker. Can you tell what it is yet? Yes, of course you can. It was simple, wasn't it? It was always going to be Sensible Soccer or Sensible World of Soccer, whichever you want to look at it. For me, it started off with Sensible Soccer on the C32, which of course was International Edition, which is this one, developed by Sensible Software, published by Renegade. But yes, didn't play it that early in my life. It took some time until I eventually did, but it took until the C32 years until I finally got around to playing it, and since then I've always been a huge fan of this game. So there we go, number 1 on the list, Sensible Soccer. And I love this intro tune as well, fantastic. Okay, so the game is Sensible Soccer, often known as Sense It. It's an association football video game series that was highly popular in the early 1990s. And still remains a cult following and was developed by Sensible Software, first released on Amiga and Atari ST computers in 1992 as well as for PC. The series was created by John Hare and Chris Yates. As a successor to the previous game, Microprose Soccer, released in 1988, which in turn was inspired by the arcade video game Tarkan World Cup, released in 1985. My lord, difficult to read while doing it. But anyway, what can I say about this game apart from being a classic? It is absolutely superb. Now, I didn't play it until 1994. In fact, I got it from the same shop I got Wembley International Soccer from, but of course, I bought that one first. But they were both the same price. I paid £4.99 for it. And after that, I was absolutely addicted to this game. But yes, because I didn't play it in the early points of my life, I never knew about the game. But I wasn't really into football in the early points of my life. I got into football during high school. But yes, I don't think I actually played this game with my brother. My brother's not into football like I was. But even though I'm not into football now, this game, I don't feel like you have to be a football fan to enjoy it. It's that good. Here we go. Is that a yellow or red? Yellow card. Free kick. So we do want to score here a wall. But of course you cannot curl to the ball. Now normally when I play this game, I normally just play with the default settings and the default time, which is about 3 minutes and a half, something like that. But I have increased it. In fact, every single game I've done for this video, I've increased the time. And I've been playing each game for quite some time, I have to admit. But this is one of those games which, again, I could play for hours upon hours and on end. And back in the day, I did. I was always creating my own teams, creating my own leagues. It was just really, really good entertainment. I'm still not a huge expert at the game. There are many, many people that are. But I'm okay at the game. But I do struggle in two-player. But there we go, it's still a great game to play. But yeah, my brother did not play this. Not once did we play this game as two-player. My brother's not into football. But yes, Kickoff 2. Yes, my brother did play that, but not as much as me. But Kickoff 2 is certainly more difficult than this. It's much more difficult to score in Kickoff 2. And it is a fantastic game, but it doesn't appear on my top 10 list. Ooh, my lord. Been a lot of close calls in this video. Yeah, the goals aren't flowing at the moment of time, but then France is no easy team. I picked a difficult team for the final game. Now, normally I go for an attacked formation. Don't know why, I just always have done it. But the goals are not post. Ugh. Might just do some changes because the goals are not happening here. 25 minutes played, not a single goal. That's another foul. I have to admit, a sending off would be quite handy right now because I'm struggling to get through this French defence. Off the crossbar. Blimey, get the ball out of there. Post again. My lord, how is this still goalless? The game featured a zoomed out bird's eye view. Head of all national teams, clubs and custom teams, and gameplay utilising a simple and user-friendly control scheme. One of the defining gameplay elements was the aftertouch feature, which enabled effective but unrealistic swerves. The game topped the charts of Amiga Power's all-time top 100, and the graphical styles of the game was also used in other sensible software games including Megalomania, Cannon Fodder, and Sensible Golf. Blimey, and this is no sensible task. This is proving to be a very difficult task. For the longest time it's been goalless. Clear that ball. Get it out of there. Lord. Goalie's certainly earning his money in this game. Now I don't actually know who is the most difficult team in this game. I'm sure someone knows in the comment box below. But France are proving to be a tough task. But amazingly, France only have 2-star players. England has 3. Looks like the players are the half-time oranges, and of course their usual team talk, and they're ready to begin once again. Right, here we go again. Shooting down screen this time, but this time, let's try and get a goal or two. And I hit the post! Oh, dear lord. To be quite honest, I don't know who the man of the match would be. It's got to be one of the goalies. We've finally scored! That took a lifetime, but of course it's not over yet. They think it's all over. It's not yet. Far from it. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't believe it. My lord. I might just survive this. There we go. Final whistle. I think 1-1 is probably the right result. Both teams played well. Both goalies played well. But there we go. 1 goal for Ferdinand, 1 goal for Papin. And that's a great game. And of course, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a really enjoyable video. Very time consuming. A lot of work's gone into it. But I hope it was worth it. Until next time, it's Jamie Warden's Games. Please like, comment, and share. Please subscribe to the channel for the fan page with Twitch. Please type in Warden's Games and find it fairly easily. Please don't click the bell icon and notify videos below. Fantastic. All the useful videos, your best of the treats I have been making, and live streams on Friday night at the time of 8 o'clock is hard way. This is on Disney. Ciao, bye. See ya. 30,000 real-life players and features English language. Hold on. What is sprint? Right, that's sprint. allowing inclusion of 30,000 real-life players and features English live comment. Hold on.
He might have caught it, but he's punched it away. Against the bar, a fraction of
that was so close. Which increases the chances of finding a target player. The AJ version was the first amiga floss. Okay, so the game is international. What are you doing, man? Now, when I got this game back in the day, I did play it absolutely loads. I really did. But yeah, it wasn't over expensive, so that was a bonus. But yes, the goalies are a bit of a problem in this one. But yes, okay, so the game is Michael Owen's.
England to kick off.
I've never seen that before. What's happened?
It's gone in there. It's a goal. Terrific start for Scotland.
Well, I think it's fair to say that has crashed. Like, good and proper.
And I'll hand you over to John Motson.
Thank you, Desmond. A great match in prospect here. A real feeling of excitement in this background. They're making a real noise here, believe me.
What are they doing?
Well, I wouldn't let... England to kick off.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. The 32 clubs included. Game options includes full season exhibition matches and scenarios and multiplayer options.
He sent him off.
And these options are you're at the door, early bath. Who gets sent off? 1 minute 40.